neighborhoods are subjected to harmful environmental policies and projects. When over 200 black cities were drowned under the umbrella of progress, the consequences of the destruction went far beyond the physical effects. These weren't just towns submerged underwater, but aspirations of vibrant communities, symbols of black resilience, and the embodiment of dreams that refused to die after centuries of enslavement. What was lost in these acts of systemic racism still haunts us today and shapes the reality of racial inequality in America. These floods robbed black families of their wealth, land, homes, and businesses, never to be gotten back. The story of drowned black cities is more than just a historical tragedy. This exemplifies how systemic racism used infrastructure as a weapon and destroyed the dreams and aspirations of many. Think about this. For many white Americans, land ownership has historically been the cornerstone of generational wealth. It enables them to build equity, send their children to college, and pass down resources. For black Americans in these drowned cities, those opportunities were destroyed. This resulted in a widening racial wealth gap that persists even today. Black families were forced to start over with little.
Next time you see this plant in your backyard, don't cut it down, because
They found themselves trapped in cycles of poverty. Their dreams of upward mobility were replaced with the harsh reality of systemic exclusion. For the descendants of these displaced families, the trauma ate deep into their emotions. Many grew up hearing stories of the cities that once stood. Their parents or grandparents spoke about the vibrant communities that turned into ghost towns. These stories inflict a sense of loss that's hard to quantify. A loss of a tangible heritage, of a physical connection to their ancestors, and of the pride that comes from knowing their people built something extraordinary in the face of oppression. Black neighborhoods are still disproportionately targeted for destruction or redevelopment, usually under the guise of progress. Highways are being built through historic black districts. Toxic industries are situated near black communities. Though the approach may have evolved, the intention remains the same. The waters may have covered the land, but they can never erase the truth. It's time to let these stories rise to the surface for the sake of justice and remembrance of those who were affected. In recent years, researchers have begun to dig deep into the fragmented records of these lost communities. They are revealing the location and the true story behind these cities that were erased from the archived maps. For example, Oscarville, Georgia, once dismissed as folklore, has been rediscovered through archival digging. Historians have found clear evidence of thriving black businesses and farmland that were submerged to create Lake Lanier. Similarly, the history of Seneca Village, which was a predominantly black settlement in what is now Central Park in New York City, has been unearthed, opposing the narrative that the park was built on empty land. Technology has also become a powerful tool for rediscovering these histories. Underwater archaeologists are using sonar technology to locate submerged towns, while digital platforms are creating virtual recreations of these communities. Projects like these bring the past to life and also ensure that these stories are preserved for future generations. Memorials and documentaries are also shedding light on these forgotten towns. Some community leaders and descendants are hosting events to honor the memory of their ancestors and ensure that the legacy of these communities doesn't go extinct. We all have a role to play in rediscovering these truths. It starts with education, learning about the history that has been intentionally hidden, and sharing these stories with others. It continues with advocacy, supporting the efforts of historians, activists, and descendants who are fighting to preserve these legacies. It forces us to confront the question, what can be done to repair the damage inflicted on these communities and their descendants? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.
Did winning the lottery really...
Okay, so now we saw what happened. And like you said, over 200 cities. I didn't know it was that amount, or that many. Okay? But now let's go here, excuse me, and get these scriptures. First scripture I'm going to get is going to be John. Try to do this quick. 8:44. John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth. See how the truth was swept under the rug and put under water? Hmm? He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. The narrative. Look at what the narrative told you. Okay. The cowboy with the white hat was supposed to be the good guy, right? Okay. But it wasn't that. Look at the time frame. The white narrative has a dog past. Okay. A very dog past. Okay. Let's go to Hosea 4:6. Keep going to that, because when we stand out there and we put these videos up and our people don't want to listen, that brings this scripture to life. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. So we tell you that you're going to discontinue from your heritage. We tell you that these are curses. We tell you that this is how the Lord thinks and this is what he does. And y'all want to keep pushing that Jesus Jews narrative, thinking that it's going to get better, when it's not designed to get better. The scriptures doesn't design it as getting better until Yahweh Shai shows up. And when he shows up, it's going to be a lot of bloodshed. And it's going to be escalating to that point until he shows up. Okay? Has rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. Our people don't even know what is up and what is down, what is right and what is wrong. Women with body counts in the thousands, thinking that they good, they cool, and they want high value men, thinking that a high value man is going to want somebody like that. And we the highest value men, Yahweh Ratazah, the hopeful electful men of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, are the highest value men on the planet. And that's not what we're going to want. That's not what we're looking forward to. Okay? Females with body counts of that magnitude. I will also forget thy children. So we're not trying to go there. This Edomite, this reddish pinkish flesh. As a matter of fact, let me pull that up, because I'm getting ready to go into a scripture, and y'all need to have the wherefore of what it actually means. Let me pull that up. Okay, so you see, I put in red babies, newborn baby with red skin. So who would that normally be a depiction of? So-called Negro or African American, or so-called Caucasian? Which one would this be? I'm just asking. So now when I go get this scripture, I don't want you to go dumb on me, okay? I don't want y'all going dumb on me, because y'all don't want to deal with what this is actually saying. This is Genesis 25, 21. And Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife, because she was bad, and Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Okay. And the children struggled within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh, and Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people, two different types of people are in your womb. Okay? Two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. So one's going to be stronger, and the elder shall serve the younger. So it didn't say that the elder was going to be stronger. It said the elder is going to serve the younger, but one was going to be stronger than the other. Period. Just look at athletics for the most part, especially anything that requires like running, combat sports, things of this nature. Okay, who excels at those? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Those are the ones that normally excel at those kind of sports. Combat sports, basketball, football, jumping, that type of thing. You know who it is, okay? Okay, verse 24. And when her days were to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there was twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. They called his name Esau. Okay? Esau. So we're not going to go stupid when we look at. We're not going to go stupid. We're not going to go stupid when we look at these images and understand the first came out red like a hairy garment. Don't mean red. The red like a hairy garment is just describing the color, because certain skins were dyed to be a particular thing. Okay? Okay? So we can look at this red, and look at this and tell what this is for the most part. Okay? All right. Let's not play stupid. Go back to the scripture. And that person that came out red, Esau, was going to have a what? A perpetual hatred for his brother. 27. Let's see. Go down here to about 39 and look at it. Verse 27, 39, and Esau. So now the first came out red like a hairy garment. That was Esau. So now this is some years down the road. And Esau said to his father, "Hast thou but one blessing? My father blessed me, even me also, O my father." And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said to him, "Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth." Fatness means the best parts of it. Okay, who live in gated communities for the most part? Okay, and with big money communities. Who lives in those for the most part, especially here in America? Actually, worldwide. Who lives in those for the most part? Here in America, over in Western Asia, which y'all want to call parts of Europe and this, that, and the other. Who lives in those? Okay, and Isaac his father answered and said to him, "Behold, thy dwelling place shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of the heaven from above." Verse 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live. How did America become roughshod over the whole planet? Through its military might. So they live by their sword. Shalt thou live, and shalt thou serve thy brother, and thou shalt come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So, who's still under the rulership of Esau even to this day? Are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans ruling over the so-called Caucasian, or is the Caucasian still got rulership over them? That's a simple enough question. Okay? Let me go to Sirach. Run through these real quick, and Just like I said, because a lot of this video was taken up breaking that down. So Rock 14. So Rock 14 go 5 through 9. So Rock 14. Okay. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he do be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. This Edomite, like we said, we talk about the Rothschilds, the Oppenheimers, the Bilderbergs, the DuPonts, and the Gettys, and how they've got so much money that they could actually reset all of the government's debts and still be top family on the planet. But they don't want to do that. They want to move this thing toward the MOTB of Revelation, the 13th chapter, 16th verse. Okay? They want to move this toward that because they want to present themselves to be as God. So to be as God, you have to be totally under their control. So they want to make you have to not be able to depend on even the money that you got. That you got to depend on their so-called mercy, which they have none, for your existence. This is what they want. Okay. Verse 7, if he doeth good, he doeth unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. So there's always an ulterior motive why this man is doing good. If he's letting you come up, if he's like, I give you a perfect example. You got all these so-called athletes, and they do what? They get millions and millions of dollars per year to play these athletics endeavors. But what about the TV revenue? So who's making a bigger chunk of the money? The owners or the players? Okay, so there's nothing that you can't figure out about that. Verse 9, a covetous man eye is not satisfied with his portion, and even though they've got their portion, they control everything. They still want it all. And the iniquity of the wicked dries up his soul. Okay, so now let me go to the Ezekiel, and I'm gonna end it there in the book of Ezekiel. Back to 35, like I said. And we're going to start at that 5, and I'm going to read it through the 9. Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Like he said, Esau said what? He would go kill his brother Jacob, right? And has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. That sword here, that blessing that he got in the time of thy calamity and in the time that their iniquity had an end. So their slavery was over with, but this man still pushed it forward. Jim Crow laws, everything, like I said. Therefore, as I live, says Lord Power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So you killed all these people here in America, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. The only way this land can be cleansed is by your blood. And now you're back from them generations before standing on this land. So when the nukes are dropped on it, your blood will be shed. That's how this land is going to be cleaned, by the shedding of the blood of the people that shed it. So you're back here to pay off, to pay for your destruction. Okay. Let me see. Verse 7. That's where I make Mount Seir, that's the Edomite's stronghold, most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Mount Seir. Okay, Mount Seir. If you want to look at the government buildings and the way they built, look up Mount Seir, you'll see that these Edomites have an architect as part of their DNA. They build that way. They did it in Rome, out of Mount Seir, Rome, and then Rome is America 2.0. Okay, and I will fill his mountains with his slain men. I'll fill his governments with his slain men. In thy hills and in thy valleys and all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. So the Lord is going to destroy this place. He's putting it down. It's going to be a destruction. It's going to be a desolation, and this, that, and other. And this is perfect. He said in Revelation 18th chapter, give into them double. So they got double coming back what the fuck they did to us. So hey, like I said, Malcolm brings it out. and now you had a chance to see it. So this isn't something that's a falsehood or whatever. It's been there, and now it's been made easy and even plainer than when he did it. So I hope that that's edifying for you, you hopeful elect. I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kapakatah, to the apostles and elders, the GMS and elder bishops out of Connecticut. Again, double honors because they do rule well. Brethren around the world, keep pushing this truth, uncut, unfiltered, giving this Edomite no rest. So with that, for the hopefully like a hearty shalom, and for the rest of the world, a bar.